I want to dive into one of my new favorite movies, In the Mood for Love. It starts in complete chaos. We're thrown directly in the middle of the story. Mrs. Chan and Mr. Chow try to nab up a rented apartment space for Mrs. Suen, but Mrs. Chan gets to it before Mr. Chow. But luckily enough, the room next door is available, so Mr. Chow takes that room and Mrs. Chan takes the original room. Are you confused yet? Mr. Chow and Mrs. Chan both have annoyingly similar names. It bothered me for a bit because I kept confusing them for each other's romantic partner, but then I realized that was the point. Mr. Chow and Mrs. Chan both live in similar predicaments. Their spouses are working abroad in Japan, leaving them lonely and in the mood for love. They both work rather boring, unfulfilling jobs that leave them with just enough money to get by. They both love martial arts serials. Mr. Chow has aspirations to write them, but decides against it because
注定都唔係食嗰啲行飯。
我舊時都好中意睇戲。
自己個人大把時間，想做咩咪做咩咯。結得翻係難啲噶啦，唔係一個人話晒事啊嘛。
they're both under the impression that they have to do everything for their spouses, yet they don't deserve anything in return. They aren't allowed to pursue their dreams because it's not what their spouses would want. Yet, their spouses disregard and mistreat them to pursue their interests the entire film. Mrs. Chow's husband cheats on her with a mistress while Mr. Chan's wife is seen with another man. Both of our leads dust this off due to their absolute loyalty to their marriage. They think of marriage as an anchor, that it's an ever-binding commitment that they must stick to, even if their partners are disinterested in doing the same. It's this very feeling of inability to do anything about their unhappy lives that drives them together. They realize just how similar the other is to their spouse, so they formulate a plan. They'll act as each other's respective consort as a way of reliving a time when their marriage was good, as if they were acting out a memory they can only see through a dusty window pane. They could see their marriage when it was good, but everything was blurred and indistinct. Together, they're able to live out their dreams. They start writing martial arts serials together. They're always there for one another, and they're able to express their annoyance at their partner's inability to also be. Of course, this eventually leads them to actually falling in love with each other, and they end up going down the same road as their previous relationships by accident. The camera work here wasn't only ahead of its time, but manages to be ahead of our time too. The refusal to show the face of either main character's partner establishes their absence brilliantly, as if the movie itself is a recollection of memories and they can't quite piece together what their own partners looked like because of how little they were around. Whenever there's subtext in a conversation, the camera focuses on the subtext instead of the characters' faces. Whenever you're able to piece together a conversation on your own, they cut the Speaking of music, the score here is simple, yet fantastic. It's mostly comprised of one song, Yumiji's theme. It's so elegant and memorable, it adds such an anticipatory atmosphere to the film. This movie has a uniquely striking ability to let you know where you are from only a single frame. They do this by utilization of recurring establishing shots. Establishing shots are shots meant to establish any given location. Every film uses these from time to time, but this is different. They use specific items like phones, clocks, a noodle canister, a mirror, etc. to let you know where the characters are. They constantly reuse frames, not out of laziness, but because it plays into the repetitive nature of their relationship. The main song I was just talking about is literally the same two notes over and over again with a nice melody playing behind it, masking its repetitive and predictable disposition. This film is like a memory of a film, and the memory is fading. There's often huge gaps in time. The camera only tends to focus on familiar things like wall decorations, clocks, the apartment hallway, and the outside stairwell. All things that Mrs. Chan and Mr. Chow would remember clearly. It's as if this entire movie is them trying to piece together their brief time with one another years later, but only being able to faintly remember the most important stuff, along with some less important but more personal stuff, like the night they spent together writing serials, trying not to get caught together by Mrs. Suen. Going back to the film's theme song I mentioned before, it stands for checkpoints in Sue and Chow's relationship. Every time it plays, they've either progressed or regressed. Whichever one, it plays, nevertheless. If I were to give it my best assumption, I'd say it stands for the romantic flame between the two. Even if they try to stay away from one another, the rain or their apartment or a simple trip for noodles will bring them together once more. It feels as though the world is pushing them closer and closer together, yet their insistence not to pursue their flame creates this inescapable hole in their hearts, and the only way to fill it is with mud along with all the feelings they've suppressed in favor of the miserable, lonely lives they think they belong to. Please YouTube, don't copyright me. This video took a long time to make. It would be quite nice